magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast. What's up, everybody? How we all doing this Saturday night of the Transformers Slag Podcast, Saturday night main event? How we all doing? My name's Proto Man. This is the face that runs this place. This is the voice you hear Monday to Friday. And tonight, we're going to hang out, talk Transformers, recap the news, take some super chats from the fans, and just enjoy this Saturday night in our Transformer world. Looks like we got a whole bunch of YouTube members and Patreon people here today. Michael Koo, AI Dragon Legend, Mike Rosen, Bigum, Abraham, Mr. Bumblebot is here. Who else am I missing? Transformatics. Hope I don't miss anybody. Mikey and Louie. Horned Owl. I think I got everybody at the moment. People are still filing in. There's JR Mina from the Philippines. We got a lot of people here this evening. And probably more to come as we slowly start the rest of the day. So we're going to cover the news. We're going to cover this and that. Didn't get a lot in the mail. Nothing really Transformer related. Picked up some somewhat kind of cool stuff, not Transformer related. Might as well show it. Maybe I'll do a quick review of it here on the live stream. And special announcement for next week. I'll probably also do too. And just little things here and there. A lot of stuff. So let's jump into the news. And once again, if you want to participate, again, hit that super chat. Let us know what you think of what's going on in the Transformer world, maybe what you purchased this week, or your opinions on what's been happening in the world. So let's do that, shall we? So first up was our Titan class reveal that we got. No surprise by a lot of people. I speculated this a couple weeks ago, and now at least we finally get to see what is up, what is happening here. And we have our Generation Selects Titan class Guardian Robot, aka Sentinel, Omega Sentinel. So the only thing I could really say is I'm very interested in the choice of trademarking that Hasbro went with the Guardian Robot. They had trademarked Omega Sentinel literally just a couple of years ago for the Marvel Legends line, so I figured they probably would use it in that route, but sure, why not? I mean, it's already tied up, so they're going to do what they're going to do. I mean, looks pretty good. It is what it is. It's got the blues. It's the color scheme is no shock to any of us. We knew what we were going to be getting. If anything, the only surprise is that there was no retooling. It is a straight up 1-for-1 repaint of the mold, of the sculpt, everything like that. And yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But the big surprise, more than anything else, was how they tackled his accompanying Micromaster. You know, that was the big thing to me. And this Lunar Tread character that was created. And I talked with Evan from Hasbro, who did the design and worked on this one and actually did the color layout too. And when I talked with Evan, Evan commented that my idea of it being Heave, the Micromaster, is actually a way better idea than what he was thinking. Because when he was presented with how this was supposed to be, it was just going to have the gray body if it was molded 1-for-1. And they put it a little red paint where the gray should have been to kind of just break it up. Now, he didn't have it intended for any specific character. He said that if anyone asks me, I'll just say it's it's going to be Omega Sentinel from Energon, his head. That's what he was going to say, but he had no intention for a character. And then when he saw my suggestion, he said, "That's way better. I'm going to go with that one." And I told him his secret is safe with me. Of course, it is the worst kept secret in this case. So, yeah, it's a Heave homage as it stands. Evan originally didn't really have any plans and went, "Yeah, sure, Omega Sentinel Energon head. Yeah, okay." So it's if you're a Micromaster completist that started with Siege and then continued with Earthrise, this is technically your Heave Micromaster. Just Heave is probably not the best name to use for him today. Kind of refers to vomiting in a lot of ways. So Lunar Tread just kind of works out better, but he's pretty cool. I dig him. He looks nice. I dig it. Everything's nice. And that is that. So this guy, specifically the Guardian robot, is going to be 199, $199, $200 pretty much. It is a difference from what its original mold's MSRP was back in 2019. That was 169.99. Kind of a shame, but that's the inflation world we live in today. The factories need more for the plastics and everything. And yeah, I guess it balances out because the box is much more simple. It's the simple Generation Selects box. They don't have the high gloss finish and the box art and everything like that. But it is what it is with corporate Hasbro, which we'll get into a moment with their stocks later too. Boy, oof, boy, oh boy. But yeah, looks pretty good otherwise. Again, 199.99, ships out April 10th, 2023. If you are interested, it is up right now. Still not sold out yet. Maybe it might be a Black Zarek situation. We will see. We will see. Then we have some stuff from Japan. We got some Japanese stuff here. We got some Beast Wars stuff that was shown to us. This came courtesy of the Takara PR Transformers PR Twitter account, which is at TF_PR, the public relations account. What's up, Aaron, in the house? And they pretty much were showing us what potentially, from what it looks like to me, this isn't official. There's no indication of it in any of the Japanese here, but it's a very Takara Tomy premium finish kind of looking line here of Beast Wars stuff, which is essentially taking those old molds, in this case, the Kingdom ones, and giving them a high budget paint finish. So, very exciting. If you saw my individual segment that I did about this, what was it, 2 days ago? That Megatron looks stellar. Like that looks like the masterpiece in terms of the paint deco budget. Like that is crazy. Some people in the comments even speculate, and I didn't even think of this, but good idea, guys. It could even be where that grinning head sculpt that just magically disappeared might show up. I mean, it didn't end up on. Let me just grab him over here. Didn't end up on Mister Silver Lips, which clearly that's where that head sculpt was supposed to go. It was supposed to go here. That silver paint was supposed to be for that grin face. They messed up at the factory. Ultimately, in the end, unfortunately, Mr. T-Rex here. By the way, great figure. Mr. T-Rex here did not get the paint. But, I mean, now if they could get the grinning face on there, if they could put that really high budget masterpiece paint deco on it, I mean, it's going to be pretty hype stuff. Pretty hype stuff. And again, the primal. I mean, I have here. This is the Blue Feet, which is the regular edition. I did not get the Netflix one. Those Netflix stuff rarely showed up here in Montreal. So I mean, if it's probably similar to what the Netflix one is, which is the more accurate color scheme and everything, that's going to be quite the stellar 2-pack. That's going to be pretty freaking awesome, if you ask me. So that's really cool. I don't have a price on this. All it has here is March 9th is when the pre-orders will go up in Japan. So if March 9th is when the pre-orders will go up, that's probably also when we're going to get some really awesome high-res images, and then we'll get an idea of what's going on here. I hope it's under, like, let's say 120. That's what I'm hoping for. Give people a decent Megatron in their display, because no offense to the Kingdom Leader Class one, but a very light purple, and the paint on the robot mode face, little need to be desired. So I'd like to see how they tackle it here and give us something really good outside of what would be right now a $250 to $300 masterpiece Megatron, which is fantastic too if you could get it, if that's in your budget. But this is something that's probably a little more affordable and will scale with your other generation stuff that we got going on right now. So let's jump into other stuff. We also have that camera there that we got. Now, this was something that we talked about a while back with the regular Optimus and the reflector. I mean, those were pretty pricey at $150. Clearly, this is aimed at someone. There's someone out there that clearly enjoys this. Look, there's a lot of Transformer photographers, me included, but the ones that are obviously the much better photographers than I'll ever be. I'm using it on a garbage old iPhone, and that's probably as good as it's going to get for me for now. But these guys, they use high, beautiful cameras, and maybe this speaks to them. A nice Canon R5 camera. So we're going to be getting a Nemesis Prime version. It's probably also going to be $150. The only thing different about this time around is brand new head sculpt. It's not just an Optimus repaint. It has a brand new Optimus head sculpt here, which looks very Fire Convoy in my opinion. And the Matrix in the chest is a brand new Matrix. It almost matches more of the Matrix of Destruction or the Matrix of Salvation. There's all the different matrices, but it's a purple Decepticon Matrix at the end of the day. Looks really cool. It's going to probably be $150, and the planned ship out or pre-order, excuse me, the planned pre-order for this one will be March 9th. Check it out, yo. Stuff that I've kind of been working on a little bit behind the scenes. Not this stuff specifically, but it is stuff that's going to be kind of related to it. So Renegade Games, let me just grab their latest expansion, Dawn of the Dinobots. I was the creative consultant on this one. Renegade did their stream recently, and they posted a whole bunch of the new stuff that will be coming. Just a heads up, I had nothing to do with these crossover ones. They're going to be doing a Transformers crossover with My Little Pony, G.I. Joe, and Power Rangers. So stay tuned for that one. The Collision Course box set. And then, of course, there's the New Alliance one with G.I. Joe straight up. Those are both done by the My Little Pony and G.I. Joe guys at Renegade Games and Renegade Studios. So I'm not involved with those ones. But then you have the other stuff going on, which is the RPG books at the bottom. There's some new ones that are going to be coming right now. The latest one is going to be, I believe, if I remember correctly, we have one that is going to be coming out. The My Little Pony is going to be September 2023. The Megazord one, the Megazord book on the bottom right is going to be August. So there's a lot going to be happening with that. If you want more information, the live stream was literally just yesterday. Tons of information dumped on there. I might do an individual segment about it, but I just want to give you guys a heads up on that because I kind of, I have my grimy fingers creatively involved with some of that stuff. So got to give it a push, even if it's Transformer related too. We got a super chat from Lizard Sphere X. What's up, Lizard Sphere X? Speaking of Netflix, I saw a post showing that line showing up at Ross in down in Texas. So keep your eyes peeled. Well, Texas is far away from my Canadian butt, but keep an eye out if you're in the Texas area and get yourself some Netflix stuff. Well, then you could get that Optimus then hella cheap if it's up there. And it comes with the Rat Trap too. That's also painted very nicely. So thank you for Lizard Sphere X for letting people know on getting the deals. Getting the deals, man. That's all it's about. Never pay full price for your very expensive hobby. You could always do better. There's always an opportunity. Thank you, Lizard Sphere X, also for the super chat. So again, those RPG books, those are going to be coming out. The Winner's Cup right now is in the early stages of development, and same thing, the crossover books with, you have Devastator fighting Megazord there from Mighty Morphin. A lot of stuff going on through Renegade. Be sure to check them out if you're into that stuff. Very juicy. Maybe I'll do an individual segment this week. I'll see what information can be talked about. There's a lot, let's put it this way, there's going to be a lot going on from Renegade in the Transformer brand. Stay tuned for that. A lot of cool stuff. Go check them out, pick up stuff. There's always good deals, fun stuff, and bonuses. There's pre-order bonuses. Get some Transformer dice. A lot of cool stuff. I'm looking at my Renegade display here. Amazing. Now let's talk about some retros, some G1 retros. So a couple weeks ago, we talked about the Tra-Gen Retro 3, which we found out was the Hound repaint. That was pretty crazy. And now we found out what our Retro 4 is going to be. And it's an easy one. Almost a little too easy because they literally just took their brand new resculpted Starscream mold from their retro line, and because you could tell it's the Starscream because it even has the Megatron gun still included. And yeah, it's now a accurate Thundercracker. So the original Thundercracker, for people that weren't aware, used a much darker kind of blue. And this one is more matching the animation model, or in this case, obviously the appearance in the movie before he turns into a certain Unicronian. You could fight over in the chat who he turns into. I'm not going to get into that. I have my opinions, but The point being is that he's going to be the next one. So that's pretty hype. Get more Seekers there. Now it means it's just like, Skywarp's just a matter of time at this point. We got a super chat from Michael, aka the Space Ghostal. Was that Nemesis leak fake? Will it be announced soon? I'm looking forward to that Titan the most. So I heard about that Nemesis leak. I believe it was Collector Con had it posted on his website. I mean, I think he was just taking a guess. It was more so he knows that we're going to have a Titan class price point and it's going to be pre-ordering at some point. We just don't know what it is. Historically, we learn about our Titan classes in April. Last year we learned about Metroplex in April. The arc we learned about in April, and then they start showing up in July. That's always how it's been. They do some kind of live stream in April. We learn about it, and then July it starts showing up in retail. So the official announcement we probably won't learn until April. Leaks, that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. I mean, we already got boned with the Commander class, so it wouldn't surprise me if somehow one of those sleazeballs somehow get that out of there too. I was literally just talking with someone not too long ago about the situation with those factories in Vietnam and how they're not Hasbro factories. These are commissioned, contracted, third party factories. In the case of Hasbro, currently the one that probably makes that kind of stuff is Dream Plastics International. I believe that's the name of it. Currently for Vietnam, there's two of them, but Dreams Plastics International, they do the injection, they do the assembly, and then they send it off to my home city over here in Montreal and Longueuil and Quebec and everything to get all of that packaged up and ready for us. So I don't know. We'll find out. We will find out. Space Coastal, a lot of interesting stuff going on there to talk about. But yeah, back to the news. And thank you for the super chat question. Thank you for the news. Excuse me. Back to the news. And it's just we're gonna have Thundercracker. Probably gonna be priced exactly the same like the Starscream. I'm gonna wait for some more information on this one before I talk more about it and break it down and explain all the nitty gritty. You might get an individual segment about this one in the near future because I think there's a lot more to discuss with it that people would probably want to know because these reissues are looking real good and it gives collectors something new to go for and jaded old school have it every single one of them already G1 collectors going, oh well, that's a different color and maybe I might want to pick up that different color. Who knows? I mean, they did the same thing with you could barely see it, the Robot Master Thundercracker all those years ago. They gave him the show accurate colors, so we will see. Next up, we have RoboSen, the ever expensive RoboSen, where they made that expensive Optimus that was over $1,000. Well, it looks like they revealed today at the Middle East Film and Comic Con. They released over the weekend their RoboSen Bumblebee. Now, the fact that this debuted at the Middle East Film Comic Con, which was located in the more specifically high rolling oil area of the Middle East, I'm going to assume that this is more so about the premium items for the higher rollers of toy collecting. They showed off the RoboSen Bumblebee, which they confirmed does not transform. And they also showed off the debut of the gold Optimus Prime RoboSen, which does transform. It's just a gold version of it. They're going to do those in limited numbers. We don't have a price yet on that, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So the Bumblebee, while it doesn't transform, we were confirmed a while back that Dan Gilbazin was going to be working with RoboSen with that old trailer that we got. Geez, I want to say wow, I think it was like 6 months ago or something. So Dan Gilbazin will be providing the voices. It is going to be super busy and moving. It just won't transform. It's just not capable of doing that. Here's the schematic showing every part and piece of how this is going to work. Does not convert, as the official term is through the Hasbro vernacular, but it is what it is. Is this going to be cheaper? I mean, if it's going to be to scale with the RoboSen Optimus, it'll obviously be probably smaller. And the fact that it does not convert might also make it a little cheaper. So who knows? It might be more affordable. That would be cool. I mean, for people that are big Bumblebee fans. But at the end of the day, I don't know. It's just going to feel like a Robo Sapient kind of item. The second you get rid of that transforming element, then it just reminds me of the old Robo Sapien toys that we used to have back in the early 2000s. So we'll see. We'll see. I guess it's Robo Send Action Master Bumblebee. Maybe we'll call it that, and it'll come with a helicopter backpack. Maybe we'll call it that. But we'll see. We will see. It is interesting. Again, I just hope that. I mean, even if it doesn't transform, this thing's probably going to be $500, probably. I don't know. It's something that doesn't speak to me. It's something that, I mean, to spend 500 to $1,000 in Transformers, there's so many items that I in like if you told me I had to spend 500 to $1,000 on Transformers, there's so many other items I rather get. Like this guy right here that I think is an absolute gem. The Action Toys Rodimus, based off of the Studio Ox one, that was like 298 or something, like 298, 350 in that depending where you picked it up. And that thing's awesome and it doesn't transform. But it has like multiple hands, everything. It's to me, it better be in a price that makes sense if it doesn't have that transforming element to it. I get all the mechanisms and the moving and the programming and the iPhone connectivity and the Dan Gilbazin voice. I get all of that. It's really cool. It's really cool. But $500 is a lot of money in our economy today. So it doesn't surprise me that it's at the Middle East Film and Comic Con. This isn't made for us, as I always say sometimes. It's made for a different audience in a lot of ways. But yeah, and that's it more or less for the news. It was a an interesting week for news. Otherwise, the only other thing that I could really touch on was the latest episodes of Earthspark came out. I tried to catch some of it. I didn't catch all of it yet. Just been super busy. It's okay thus far. I mean, the thing with Earthspark is it has some really good ideas, really good moments, but then there's so much fluff too. So it's something that, I'm so separated from, and we all are, from Cyberverse, the series that came before. And I look back at Cyberverse and go, wow, that was a really good Transformer series. It's something where, and I was saying that even in the moment when I was watching Cyberverse, me and Jaws D were kind of doing like little early reviews of Cyberverse. And we're like, this is a pretty good series. This one, I don't know, some stuff just doesn't sit right with me. I feel that they really need to stop with the emphasis on the family. I get that that's what it is. I understand that that's how they want to market it, but again, there's good moments. There's good moments, and then there's moments that just make me go, you know. It's and you know what sucks too? There was a lot of Cybertronian. Like, where's my phone? There was a lot of Cybertronian in the background, and I was taking a whole bunch of photos of that Cybertronian to go translate later. Like, there was tons of it. I just want to show you guys. Like, there was tons of Cybertronian in the background. It's all gibberish. It doesn't even mean anything. I was so disappointed. They took all the time to put all that Cybertronian, and not a single one of it amounted to an actual word, which that was disappointing too. Like at least put like, the credits of the creators of the show or something. I don't know. Or name like a whole bunch of like, I don't know, like throttle bots or something. Do like a weird throwback. Here's all the Autobots that died in the war and humans and stuff. And I don't know. It was just kind of weird. Starscream was hyped up in the trailers and the leading into this. Barely was used at all, like zero. Same thing with Grimlock. Barely was used at all. I hope I'm not spoiling for some people, but I don't know. I don't know. I want like I kind of want to, a year from now, be able to look back and go, what did I really think of this? And will this be a series that for years to come people will recommend? Or will it just be something really just catered to a very specific audience? It reminds me a little bit of James Roberts's More Than Meets the Eye. And I don't mean one for one in terms of writing or parallel. I mean that James's thing had a lot of good aspects, a lot of cringe aspects, but it really, at the end of the day, only spoke to a very specific audience. And that's why the sales of that book overall were not good. I love James, no offense to him. Every time people hear me say this, they think I'm attacking the book. I think it's a good book. Don't get me wrong. I got my copies of it up there, but it didn't sell well. It was aimed at a very specific audience of very specific people. Some of them, dare I say, were not so much fans of Transformers, but just fans of that kind of writing. And I feel that Earthspark might be the same thing. I know that already some Earthspark toys are showing up in clearance at Walmart, that's kind of depressing. So we'll see what happens. I don't have a negative and or positive opinion. I think there's some really cool stuff in there. Agent Schloeder, whatever his name is there, he's really starting to stick on me a little bit. I like him. And is it just me? What is her name? Maybe one of you guys can know what I'm talking about. There was this woman who she was a like she did this like medical stuff where they could take your blood and they'd be able to tell you all these diseases you have, and it ended up being a fraud. If anyone knows who I'm talking about, she was like in the news for many years ago. And she reminds me of Agent Schloeder's sister, which I think is Croft or whatever. She reminds me of her so much. The turtleneck, the blonde hair that's tied back, like she reminds me of her so much. I wonder if that was done on purpose because she was like a villain in the media for a very long time. Anyone in the chat who knows who I'm talking about? I think it was what was her name? Heather something, I forget. But just I remember when I saw her, I was like, "Ooh, is that like an homage to her or something?" Anyways, but so I mean, I'm gonna see like this is the end of season one, and it's kind of like now season one. I'll put it this way: was something about nothing. You know, Was it Eliza Holmes? It's true. It's Elizabeth Holmes. That's correct. And she had a middle name too, if I remember correct. It's Elizabeth something Holmes. Yeah, she. I swear, it reminded me as an homage to her. Like she's evil. She looks exact. There's just Google image pictures of her. Like she has the black turtleneck and the same haircut. It's so weird. So weird. Like I remember sitting there going, that's interesting. So, season one, we'll see. Right now, season one for me, kind of hot or cold. I'll definitely, I have the same feelings with this as I had the same feelings with RID 2015, where just give me more robots. But even RID 2015, in my opinion, was a little better so far. At least season one in comparison. Season two and three of RID 2015 was a lot better. Really started to pick up track, especially with that combiner force stuff and having some unique characters introduced. Polar Claw, haven't heard that trademark in a while. Shame it didn't amount to a figure. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Hashtag is hashtag unfor I like hashtag, but as I was watching it, it reminded me of there was that New Warriors comic book that got canceled, that there was a character whose power was the internet, and that whole book got canceled and stuff. And I forget what that character's name was. It also had like a very internet sounding name. Oh, was it Safe Space? Was it Safe Space? I forget what their names were. It was such a cringy book. But hashtag is a cool character. I like her design. I think she's fun. But it's funny how they also have like a transformer whose power is the internet and Wi-Fi, and she likes looking at it. It's a very contemporary 2023 Transformer series. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Let's put it that way. And I always say the true judge is time, and time will tell. And maybe a year from now, I'll have a different perspective of it. But as it stands right now, eh, I don't know. I don't know. Um, Not feeling it too much. I'll never forget finishing Beast Machines, and then a year later missing Beast Machines and its writing style and mainframe entertainment. And maybe it'll take me a year after the fact to kind of let it sit a little bit. The internet gas guy, that's what it was. Thank you, Abraham. Detective Ferret, I think Autobot X would be perfect for RED. Man, you know what? Any non-toy characters that appeared in the show getting toys in RED would be great. But unfortunately, the robot enhanced design line is made for more of a mainstream audience of Transformer collectors, not so much the hardcore collectors. So they stick with the safer characters. They stick with the Autobots that are the Optimuses, the Bumblebees. If they're going to do a repaint, it's only because the mold already exists. So if we get a Sound Blaster, if we get like a black Diaclone Megatron or something, it's only because the mold has already been tooled and they might as well do something with it. The Ultra Magnus, from the Optimus. So I would like that, along with an Alpha Trion or maybe some more Prime characters that had toys that didn't really match their animation models. But at the same time, they're going to stick with what's safe. They're going to stick with more mainstream. I'm surprised they did stuff like Knockout, but I think even Knockout happened because he won the Hall of Fame, and they just figured out we'll slide him in there. So maybe we'll get a Lugnut won the Hall of Fame not too long ago. So maybe we'll get a Lugnut in RED. Who knows? Um, Elizabeth Holmes is the female model of the Zuckerbot. Is it now? That's not creepy at all. Um, let's see what else we got here. If I miss anything, guys, just be sure to post it. Michael Koo says Earthspark season 1, episode 13, Missed Connection was okay. The episode an episode to watch for Beasties fans. Yeah, that the Tarantulas one was cool because I like that it was a different interpretation of Tarantulas, ambiguous in his faction. That's kind of cool. But again, that's I'm going to be biased with that because I'm a huge Beast Wars guy. So I was going to like it, unless they really did something off the wall. But I really liked that was a pretty decent episode. But otherwise, again, it had its high and low moments. Like the Philly episode was kind of cringy. And I've been to Philly multiple times. I have a family there, and I was just like, Philly's not like that today. I was like, I literally went to Philly just before the big V hit and stuff. I went down there. I always use Philadelphia as my excuse. I drive down to Philly, and I park there, and then I take the bus into New York City because forget driving into New York. We take the bus in New York City, and then I'd go to Nintendo World over there because I'm such a simp for Nintendo stuff, and I love Nintendo World New York. And I was there recently, and it's whenever like people do Philly, and it's always like I don't know, the way they did Philly was weird. It was weird. How do you not do like the Rocky steps? I mean, you had what's his name was holding the pretzel, the Philly pretzel, so I guess they got kind of that in there. Although they didn't really focus on it, but it's like stuff if you know Philly, you notice it. How do you have like no Philly cheesesteak? Mm-mm-mm. Anyways, we're gonna be talking about food too early. We still got like another hour and 20. We're already talking about food. It's my fault. Um, let's see. Horned Owl. I'm a fan of the new uh, Earthspark episodes. Nightshade is my favorite on the list. A scientist engineer with an owl mode. Yeah, it was interesting mode too. That was cool. I'm really curious because Nightshade is supposed to have a figure. I believe it's the eighth one because there's 8 figures that are supposed to be in the deluxes. I believe it's number 8. And Nightshade's supposed to have a figure, so I'm really curious how they're going to do that transformation because there's that animation model doesn't have a lot of kibble in robot mode. Once in a while those wings pop out, so I'm really curious how that's going to be. I'm worried that we're going to get something very similar to if anyone remembers Beast Machine's Silverbolt when he got his toy, and like it's very streamlined in the Beast Machine's animation model, but when you look at the toy, there's just kibble everywhere. So I'm really curious how they can do it. I think the wings on the back are probably going to be a detachable accessory or something that's going to make the wings for the owl. I think it's called a hawk owl. That was the specific breed. Correct me if I'm wrong, horned owl. You would probably know. Um, I mean, probably the bias of you liking that character too is when it turns into an alt mode of something. Um, but yeah, I think it's unique. I like that. That's cool at least. We never had a hawk owl. We had a snowy owl. And a great horned owl twice with Prowl. And then there was the converters line. They had the aviators. What were they called? There, those bootlegs. They had a whole bunch of owls and stuff too, but that's not Transformers. What will be the next Earthspark line, Deluxe or Voyagers? We're probably not going to see Voyagers. See, you know what? The one thing I'm worried about with Earthspark is I don't think the product's going to move very well. And there is no Voyagers. They just have their Ultra Class, whatever you want to call it, that's going to be gimmick based. So we'll see how it is. Mikey and Louie, how's it hanging? JR Mina, nothing wrong with food talk. You know it, JR. You know it. Abraham is gifted a membership. Someone luckily got a membership. Thank you, Abraham, for giving a membership to one lucky person. JR Mina says, I just finished breakfast, had cereal. What kind of cereal did you have, my friend? I'm always curious. I'm a big cereal guy. Love cereal. Funny story. Actually, when I went to New York, um, I picked up all marshmallows cereal, which will kill you, but I wanted to try it. Timmy K. Poindexter says, Proto, I'm cooking crab and lobster for dinner. Oh man. Oh man, that sounds good. To celebrate my ninth wedding anniversary. Congratulations. 9 years married. Very good, my friend. Very, very good. It's always hard to find someone that loves the madness. So it's always important to find somebody that is part of the madness. That is our hobby. Wings like Mind Wipe. That's a lot of kibble. That's a lot of kibble. Where we at here? Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Mikey and Louie, we are out picking up some Chinese food. My favorite. I love Chinese. I love Chinese food. Where we at? Scroll. Owl bear. It's an owl bear. Is that what it's called? I do not know. I'm very bad with this. Horned owl, biased to nightshade from two facets: owl and scientist engineer. Very true. Very again, tarantulas also. So if you're the spiders, there's a scientist engineer who's crazy. Mikey and Louie, where's our Titan class Nemesis reveal? Can't wait. Well, we're gonna have to wait for that one. Officially in April, unofficially if someone sneaks it out. Lord Soundwarp, honestly can't wait for the Nemesis and Tidal Wave reveal at some point, assuming that the Tidal Wave is next. I think we're probably not going to see anything of that for a bit. The way I figure it is we'll probably not see Armada Megatron until late 2023, and then we probably won't see the next piece that would be a tidal wave until much later because we have pretty much the listings for the next for pretty much all of 2023 and early 2024 we know everything. So we're probably not going to learn anything related to that until, and I know it sounds like it's far away, but like fall winter of 2023, like let's say like August, September, October, December. Unfortunately November I missed out. There's no November. But yeah, Lord Salmer, I feel like I missed a fair bit of the stream, even though I've been on for a whole while. Well, the only thing that we missed is we haven't done the sponsorship. We're going to do that, and then we're going to talk about what Proto Man picked up this week. So we'll do our sponsorship. We got some time, and then we'll let some of the super chats and everything just roll in at the same time. So, wearing it today, Symbiote Studios, of course, our pins, our t-shirts, and our plush of Transformers. Symbiote Studios, symbiotestudios.com specifically. Check them out. They're making some more Transformer stuff in the near future. Be sure to check it out. We are going to be the first to announce it then. Again, we're still waiting for approval from Hasbro. Let's just say going into an extremely hype movie year where all eyeballs are going to be on our brand on the mainstream level, Hasbro is going to be very careful on what's happening. But pick up your Symbiote Studio stuff, the brand new plushes, the new restock with the new animation accurate colors of Optimus Prime, Grimlock, a Bumblebee, and Soundwave, as well as all the others. Pick yourself up a Hound, a Wheeljack, some Seekers, my favorite, Shockwave. It's all out there. SymbioteStudios.com. Check it out. And they also got some new stuff too. The last of their pony stuff is showing up. They have some stuff from their cell phone related game stuff too. All their Hasbro related stuff, the Power Ranger stuff, the G.I. Joe stuff, the pins, the Magic, the Gathering. TCG for life, yo. Rock and roll. Some good stuff. Some good stuff. And of course, And Deceits. So And Deceits contacted me. This was actually thanks to Mikey and Louie because they informed me that And Deceits had sold out of their Optimus, and was it the Optimus and the Megatron seats had sold out completely. Very popular, and I had to contact JC from And Deceits, and they informed me that they will be getting new stock of their Andescetes Bang Bang, hopefully by mid-March. They did not expect the inventory to sell out that quickly during their sales season, and of course, you get a sales price too. Use promo code PROTOMAN to get 15% off your order at Andescetes and all their related product, not just the Transformer stuff, but their other ones too. So be sure to check them out. Andescetes. So if you are interested in these, and they are out of stock right now, I have not checked as of this morning, but they said mid-March they will be getting their inventory back. Again, they are very awesome seats. Check them out. The big Autobot on the back there. Great stuff, great stuff. Andescetes, thank you very much, Andescetes, for sponsoring us also. And let's talk about Aaron Archer. So we have a new long form segment coming from the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. You're probably going to figure it out what it's going to be about, but it's going to be a nice hour-long deep dive, huge deep dive into this character, his creation, the whole history. We got a good hour of unique information about the creation of this guy, his toy, and everything that influenced afterwards. I'm pretty sure you could figure out who. I mean, it's clearly Throttlebot Searchlight. It's clearly Blaster. And I ain't talking Blaster the Autobot. I am talking GoBots Blaster from 1983. So but that'll be coming hopefully this week. We're going to put some stuff out. So if you're looking for a nice hour-long sit-down learning about the history of everything, again, the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. If you're subscribed to me, how are you not subscribed to the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer? Throw that in your Google machine, throw it in your YouTube search algorithm, and go check it out. There's a lot of good stuff. Aaron did a live stream just yesterday, really good one, talking about Tidal Wave, talking about some Batman stuff. A lot of cool stuff was covered there. So go to check out his live too that he did yesterday in replay under the live tab. Good stuff. And if you want more Aaron Archer in a physical form, and I'm not talking about touching Aaron Archer, although you could do that too, maybe. I'm not saying, but pick up Aaron's art book, The Art of Transforming Robots, Volume 1, Black and White Edition, on archermonster.com/shop, or just check out archermonster.com for all the other cool stuff too. Pick up a painting, pick up some original art, pick up all kinds of cool stuff. But for $20, you get his official art book with a whole bunch of Transformers that he designed throughout the years at Hasbro. And of course, for an extra $15 added on top of that, he will draw whatever you want on the inside. Get a nice piece of official media. He'll sign it too. Good everything. He won't be at TFCon LA. So if you want to get your Archer fix, again, archermonster.com/shop and pick it up, yo. And pick it up, yo. Let's see, did anyone get it? Ah, there you go. Cybertron backstop. Van got it. You got me. You got me. It's Cybertron backstop. We're going to be talking about rhinos and nothing but rhinos, extinct rhinos, rhinos that are still with us today, everything like that. Um, but yeah, that's be sure to stay tuned for that. We're again, I can't put an exact date on when it's going to be live because the long form segments they take a while to encode, they take a while to edit, and they take a while to upload. So I don't want to put a specific date on it right now. Even the live streams. Look, guys, we go 2 hours straight. After the live stream ends, it has to upload through YouTube, and that takes like 30 minutes to an hour right there, and that's YouTube internal. So we will see. We will see. We'll keep you posted on that. I'll mention it in the podcast on an individual segment if it is live, so you could then go check that out too, so you don't miss it. And of course, I'll talk about it on my Twitter, so you don't miss it too. Word Soundwarp. Honestly, Aaron, I'd love an hour discussion on Erector. Well, I don't think Aaron had anything to do with Erector. That's before his time in that Hasbro era. So also just want to cover what I picked up this week. So shout out to my buddy who works at the Golden Arch, Bruce. Bruce hooked me up with all the Super Mario McDonald's toys. So I got them this week. Um, the new Super Mario toys, the actual ones by Jax, I have not seen yet in retail, but I am scared at the Canadian prices. I'm going to try to find someone who could hook me up, hopefully, to pick them up in the States. The Mario figures are $20 in the States. They are $35 in Canada. That doesn't even make sense with exchange. I don't know why they're ripping us off. So I'm going to try to figure out a way to get them through an American connection if I can. But I did pick up, thanks to Bruce, shout out to Bruce, the McDonald's ones, and I got all of them. And I'm reminded of, because I usually don't get McDonald's toys unless it's like, the odd Transformer one here and there. And I'm just reminded of how some of them are pretty decent. Here's my boy Donkey Kong with just swinging arm action. Donkey Schlong, I guess. Yep. I believe this is who's playing Donkey Kong in this one? Who's the voice of Donkey Kong? I know Jack Black is Bowser. Donkey Kong was who? Forget who's playing Donkey Kong, but there's Donkey Kong with his barrel. That's the only piece of articulation on him. Yeah. Then we got this is supposedly one of the characters in the movie. This it looks like one of the stars from what do you call it? Mario Galaxy or even Paper Mario, but this is Starmie, I think the name of the character is. This one just spins. Yeah. Yeah, not bad on the paint though. Not too bad. Then there's Jack Black. We got Bowser with flame here, and the flame just kind of spins if you turn on the back, or you could take it out and it's just like that. No articulation. Not bad. Bad again. It's McDonald's toys. What do you expect? We got Luigi, Charlie Day with the flashlight doing the Luigi's Mansion thing. Does nothing really, just kind of just turn him and the flashlight just kind of moves with it. Kind of cheapy, this one. We got Toad with his Toadmobile, one of the carts. Just a rolling car. Nothing too special with that. That's from the trailer. We got Mario with his cart. He has a ball bearing on the bottom. So his actually like moves. So you got Mario with his cart. We got Mario in the pipe, which the gimmick is just, oh, hey, yeah, it does that, sure. And last but not least, we got Princess Peach doing her Bret Hart impression. Well, I don't know why her arms are like that, because that's what Bret Hart would do. Look at that Bret Hart impression. Yeah, I should put like Bret Hart shades on her or something. Someone's got to Photoshop that. So yeah, that's the complete set. Again, shout out to Bruce at McDonald's for hooking up a brother so he doesn't have to go in the. And by the way, Canadian Happy Meal boxes are very generic. They're not as nice. So yeah, hey, thank you for the hookup, Bruce, and all the McDonald's goodness. So yeah, that's all I got. Unfortunately, no Transformer stuff. I'm going to be visiting the PO box hopefully next week. I mean, it's just been, it was a very busy week this week. Slowly spring break is happening. Some people are changing their tires early, even though I do not suggest it. So it's been very busy. Um, Lord Soundward, by the way, Proto, have you managed to do any research on what we discussed yesterday? No, I did not. I was super busy. Today is my grocery shopping day, doing a little bit of cleanup, and then I come home right away and I got to start preparing the slides and everything for the pod. The weekend is my time to relax. I try to stay away from the internet on the weekend as much as I can. Sarah says I'm back, but like I'll definitely look into it, brother. Don't worry. Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. Thank you, Van. Sarah says, I'm back. It's just me and my commander figure that is shrinking because the commander armada guy looks smaller than the red dragon. Well, the red dragon's a big dude, too, aka Megatron. Black Crow, we will be seeing a new original Autobots, Maximals, Predacons, and Decepticons that Hasbro hasn't come up with. Think Autobot version of Combaticons, Autobot versions of Constructicons. Well, the shattered glass stuff is probably where you will see stuff like that. I mean, it's an excuse to just do a repaint, a straight up repaint of some things. So I wouldn't be surprised. I always like original characters, though. You know, Cyberverse gave us Thunder Howl, which was this, I guess we'll call it a different version of a Silverbolt, if you will, but it still was a unique and original character. I like that when we get new characters that could really like kind of make a place. Again, Earthspark has that too, but so far those characters haven't really spoken. I think hashtag for me personally has been the only one that's been kind of like, okay, she's kind of fun, I guess, but I don't know how that character would probably work outside of the Earthspark kind of world, like a transformer known for internet powers. You put that on Cybertron, and I don't know how that would work. You know, just my take. Michael Koo, Super Mario Brothers fire breathing Bowser action figure has electronics where it spits out steam. Yeah, that thing looks cool as shit. I have to swear because that thing looks really cool. I want to get all of those toys. No joke. Every micro figure, every regular figure. I'm even tempted by those oversized plushes. They all look amazing. Those articulated plushes. They look really cool. They look really, really cool. David Cavalli, yes, put the shades on her. Yeah, you know what? I'm telling you, like there's a lot of Bret Hart figures that come with little shades. Maybe I'll put some shades on her. I'll do a photography. I'm telling you, look, it's the Bret Hart pose. I have my boy Bret over here. You know, like yeah, like Bret's like teaching her what's up. I don't know. I just found it was the second I saw it because it's pink too, and I was like, is she doing the Bret Hart? What's going on with that? For anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, just look at any Bret Hart match when he goes into the ring for the first time. He does that. What do you call it? David Cabal knows what I'm talking about. AI Dragon Happy Meal. Yep, yep. They're doing the Big Mac chicken soon. That's kind of tempting. That was something I invented as a kid. Buying two McChickens and putting them together. They're going to be doing that officially soon. Michael Koo, based on the leaks, there will be no Transformers Rise of the Beast Happy Meal promotions. Well, McDonald's has had McDonald's has had a very weird relationship with Transformers. Um, I would have to say probably after animated, so I want to say like 2010, because I know, like me personally, back in 2003, 2004, 2005, I was working at Burger King, and we saw how they secured the Transformer license, and they did the Cybertron toys, they did all of the movie toys were Burger King. Um, at one point, I think Wendy's had some Transformers Authentics kind of line where that's the one where we saw the Windblade McDonald's fast food toy. So it wouldn't surprise me if there is no Happy Meal stuff, but it wouldn't surprise me if surprise surprise Burger King or Subway, and yeah, Subway has toys too. Subway has a pretty good relationship with Hasbro with doing toys. They did the Beyblade toys. Every single Beyblade promotion, with the exception of I think the first Burger King one, were all done through Subway. They have these little tops and stuff that spin. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some like cheapy Subway toys. And even Target, their built-in restaurants too, I think had like Dark of the Moon toys at one point. Um, Man, I wish I had them nearby. They're all like in the display up there, but you know, we'll see. We will see. It might not be McDonald's, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do something else, even if it's just like very gimmicky stuff. Like imagine like like a Beast Wars like Optimus Primal that just like shoots fire out of its mouth or something, or a single molded piece of plastic with a couple of screws, with that simple, very cheapy kind of plastic, that MABS or EABS plastic. Lizard Sphere X, she has a Soundwave and Blaster's job. I must have missed something that was said. I apologize. Mr. Bumblebot. So Bowser is a cold humidifier. Yeah, it's true, eh? No, that sounds. I saw images of it online. They look so cool. They look so cool. Even the glassy eyes on the toys. Like, I got to find a way how to get them cheap. Like, I could find them online to buy in Canada, but I refuse to pay those Canadian prices. That's just a ripoff. It's such a ripoff. I'm literally paying almost double for one figure. So if I'm going to pay double, I'd rather pay shipping from someone online who will hook me up. As long as the shipping's not too crazy. Um, Detective Ferret, is there a role to play Star Saver in the background? Is that a role play Star Saver? Oh, you mean Star Saber? Yeah, those are the role play Star Sabers, mint in box. That's the original one, and then the Dark Saber version. I have both of those mint in box. You want me to go grab them? I'll go grab one. There we go. The unique price point. This shared the same price point at the time with Laserbeak, although Laserbeak was like on that faux deluxe card back. There we go. Think me and Aaron, we talked about it on the Toy Armada. Go check that one out. We did a deep dive on these guys. Episode 9, episode 10, I forget. It was a deep dive. It'll be in the thumbnail. But yeah, there's both of them there. I didn't want to put them in the actual Armada display, so I just kind of just leave them there. One day maybe I'll get a shelving for the pillars in between and I'll fit them in there. I'm not too sure yet. Maybe I'll find something at IKEA. But yeah, thank you for the super chat asking about the Star Saber blades. They're pretty cool though. The guy who worked on those, little spoiler of the little spoiler, but go check out that individual segment on the Toy Armada. But the guy who worked on those worked on the Star Wars Star Sabers, lightsabers. So the same technology is put in that one too, where you kind of swing it around. So pretty cool. David Cabal, what up, David? David Cabal with the super chat. Who is your favorite Ninja Turtle, Team NT and Team NT villain? Ooh, you know what? And they're right there on my tower. I'm gonna go grab them. I don't want to spoil. Let me just put them aside here. So as a kid, I was one of those kids that grew up with Ninja Turtles. I was there when it debuted, not the comic book. That's 83, 84, actually 84. The cartoon. As a kid, like most kids, we all liked Michelangelo as a kid because he was cool and radical. I'll never forget the first day I bought my very first Ninja Turtle toy. It was the soft head version ones, 1987. Me and my sister, we were at a friend's country house, and we went to this like little goods store, and I bought Michelangelo, and I only bought Michelangelo because, and this really shows how my brain was at the time, which says so much about me today as how wanting to learn how things work. Daniel back then, Proto Man back then, wanted to buy Michelangelo because he watched the cartoon and wanted to see how nunchucks would transfer into plastic and how that would work. I only bought the toy because of that. And then seeing how the nunchuck was like a single, like, I don't want to say a string of plastic, but a piece of plastic, so that's why I bought him. But my favorite turtle, like literally was always Raphael. I just love Raphael. I love the color red, but I also liked Raph because he was the snarky one and everything. And then when I saw the movie, I loved how he was in that. He was so Wolverine. This was my ignorance of not knowing the comics. I never read at the time. I had not read the original Mirage books by Kevin Eastman and Laird. So, I read one or two Archie books. One of the very first comic books I ever owned as a kid was the Archie books. So, it's something where Raphael will always be my fave. Of the villains, it's a tie always of these two. I love Slash. I love Super Shredder, specifically Super Shredder, the design. I always keep them on my tower because I love these designs. I love the idea of a evil turtle that has evil versions of all their weapons with a black mask and everything. Just that idea was so cool. I wasn't a fan of his cartoon version, but his Archie comic book version was cool. And Super Shredder is just awesome. And that original toy, look at that. Isn't that just the coolest thing ever? So, Playmates back in the day was firing on all cylinders, so to speak. So I'll have to go with that. I mean, I have an amazing Ninja Turtles display in the manga room. I love Ninja Turtle stuff. Specifically Japanese Ninja Turtle stuff is cool to collect too. They have a lot. There's a whole history there. Good question, David Cabal. Maybe we lost some people there, but good question. Sarah wants to know, I'm concerned that the original optimal guy will be a commander. Wait, what is that? The optimal guy will be a commander class just with the 4 modes and pay 75. Oh, you're talking about if they do optimal Optimus? I missed the Transformers, Emperor's New Groove, Llama, Human, McDonald's figure. I must have missed that one. That was probably beyond. Emperor's New Groove was a good movie. One of the last Disney movies I actually liked before they really started just churning out garbage. Um, but yeah, Emperor's New Groove was good. Maybe because of Kronk with what's his name, who did uh who did the Tick and Sentinel Prime. Let's see. Mayoral, what's up, Mayoral? With the $5 super chat, I'm making my unofficial TFCon exclusive an aluminum HasLab Star Saber upgrade. Will be working late to finish many as I can. Wish me luck. Well, good luck to you, Mayoral. I apologize I can't be at TFCon next weekend. I will use this moment to announce that because I won't be at TFCon next weekend, we will be doing a special live stream where we will be doing some giveaways for the fans who cannot also be at TFCon that weekend. So we will be doing some giveaways. Shout out to Bin Studios with Mikey and Louie. They'll be helping out with that like they always do. So we'll be doing some giveaways to alleviate the pain of not being able to be in LA. I promise, guys, I will be at the next TFCon, which will be July's Toronto. Things just didn't line up, just couldn't get it to work out ultimately in the end. Um, it's been so busy. It's been so busy, but we'll see what's happening in the future with that. But have fun, guys, over there, and you know, just promise me you'll have a good time. Um, where are we? Lord Soundwarp. Now that I'd love to see. I'm constantly surrounded when I go down. Everyone's conversating. AI Dragon Legend. Hey Proto, can you continue making own Transformer storylines? You can make your own Transformer. If you can continue making your own Transformer storylines, would you make your own Transformer characters? My OC has been in the background of a couple IDW comic books. So it's already out there. Um, I forget who did it. Someone made I think it was Josh Bertram or someone, they made a comment about putting their OC in the background. And then I replied with a collage of Proto in the background. Proto is I don't have the figure nearby. It's in my, I have him displayed next to, you could barely see him. He's in my Machine Wars display. Proto is a red Formula One car. Proto means to be the first. So in Formula One or racing, you want to be first. It's just a pure coincidence because I also, Proto Man is Mega Man related. And that red Formula One car with a very Proto Man kind of colored scheme and yellow scarf um, has made quite a few cameos in the background of IDW books, thanks to the coloring of two individuals, which they know who they are. Maybe I don't want to get them in trouble, but they make sure that Proto is in the background of a certain amount of books. So he has been there, but I'd like to make some original characters too. If I ever did do writing stuff again, I haven't done a book in a while. Like the last one I did, gosh, was 2016. God, what was the last book? Not Feng Shui. Oh, I don't remember. I've been doing. It's just been. I stopped. The book stopped around 2016. Then I started just doing bios like crazy. Like literally for the past since 2016, it was bio, copyright, copyright. So, but if I would do another like series or storyline, yeah, I work in characters. I have a thing where I like just throwing in like little nods to little stuff here and there, obscure characters, background characters. I know when I did the GoBot story in 2013 with Alex Milne and Josh Perez, I made sure that like there was really obscure GoBots in the background, Baron von Zemo and not Baron von Z and what was the other one that I put in there? I put Bug Bite obviously was there and Stacks. You put all the weird ones. You gotta, you gotta. So those books are out there if you look for them. They're always out there. Lord Soundwarp, wish I could do TFCon just in the UK. Sadly for me. Well, there's that UK show there. I know it's a lot smaller. What is it, TF Nation? I know it's smaller, but you got that one out there. I mean, it's no TFCon or BotCon, but it's still it's still something. I mean, look, TFCon, back in the day, like 2006, 2007 ish, especially like just before the movie boom was a very small con, about 300 people, one day. And those are fun too. It's fun just hanging out with people. That's why I'd love to do a Dairy Con. I would love to do a Dairy Con just because those small cons are just as fun to do also. Dairy Con, give me a call. Maybe we'll do something. Any plans for TFCon Florida? Still too far away. Like I want to say yes, but it's so far away. It's November. So who knows where I'll be, what I'll be doing, what will be happening. I don't like making promises I can't keep. So I don't know. Toronto I can promise because I do know that I will be free in July. I will be free in July. That's like a quiet season. There's no tire rushes, there's no craziness. It's this like in the mechanic world, it's actually kind of slow around that time. So there's like if anything when you turn to your boss and say, "Hey, could I take some time off?" they're actually happy. They're like, "Sure, no problem." But yeah. Lord Soundorb, what is your opinion on third-party masterpiece repaints of official figures as I've got an Age of Extinction Bumblebee due to, sorry, it's slided away there. I hate when that happens. Due to secondary pricing. So, what's my opinion on third party masterpiece repaints of official figures? So, what you mean is like pretty much just third party figures of that are masterpiece scale. Look, I I like that kind of stuff when they do it based on characters that I don't think will ever get official toys. That's how I always felt. Like the arms race that existed at one point when it came to, sorry, I'm just going to scroll up a little bit here because I don't want to miss people's questions of the super chat or green name element. Um, when there was that arms race at one point where everyone was fighting to do the first Masterpiece Cup, the first Masterpiece RC, the first Masterpiece Hot Rod, the first Masterpiece Blur, and like tons of guys that I knew personally, friends were like, going crazy buying them. The Springer too. There was like 6 different Springers across all the companies, and like man, it was nuts, and they were just spending crazy money like, oh my god, like hoodlum, I didn't get him, so I'm gonna have to buy him in the secondary market for $200. And I'm like, bro, like just wait, Like one day we're gonna get something that's way better than Hoodlum, and then one day that one is gonna be turned back into a masterpiece. Like if it's a masterpiece of Death's Head, if it's a masterpiece of, Cosmos, or I don't know, it has to be something that's really third tier character, third tier, fourth tier character, obscure character, then I get it. But if it's something that's like I got, my recent, you know, uh, masterpiece. Let me think of it like Wheeljack. They did one. You know, so that's always been kind of my opinion. Kind of my opinion. Oh, we got more super chats rolling in. Got to catch those. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? We got two. David Cabal, who's your favorite TMNT hero? Um, I like Usagi, even though he's technically not a TMNT hero. That was created by Stan Sakai, who then put it in Ninja Turtles' world. I actually got to meet Stan Sakai and got him to draw me a Usagi at a Montreal Comic Con. Who else is good? Who else is good? We got we got Mondo Gecko. He's pretty cool. Ray Fillet that you mentioned is pretty cool. Technically, Slash became a good guy at one point in the Archie comics, but I won't count him because he's more associated as a bad dude. Who else is there? Who else is a good one? Um, what's another good one? And I know I'm forgetting somebody. Who am I forgetting? Lionheart. That one's kind of boring though. Tattoo. That's a boring one. The big fat Sam a sumo dude. Uh, Mutagen Man. That one used to freak me out as a kid. What a weird design that was. Um, what a weird design. If you could take him out of there, it's like, oh my god, it's so weird looking that one, Mutagen Man. I'll go with Mondo Gecko's the classic, I guess. Ray Fillet's cool too. I never got the variant of that one. I only have the one version. David, contact me. I'll send you a picture of my TMNT collection. I know you'll dig it. Send me a PM on Twitter. Um, I'll go with Mondo Gecko. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Saint Turtle. Can I say Saint Turtle? Or Chris Mew from the Japanese one, the little fairy that passed away. Or the Neutrinos, they got cool figures too. Joseph Ritter with the gold super chat for $10. Thank you, Joseph, with the gold super chat. Not going to TFCon, scratch your chin emoji. I think that other Transformers YouTuber from the USA will be there. I have no idea which one that would be. What's his name again? In short, super bummed. Asking Peter Cullen to block to block you. Symbiote will be there. So, well, Symbiote Studio will be at TFCon LA. So be sure to check out their booth. They're gonna have a lot of cool stuff. I'm telling you, bro, I would love to go. I really want to go. Like literally all the past LA Transformer conventions, I was at all of them. So it's not a flight thing. It's just there's so many things kind of piled up. It just got crazy. And I wasn't expecting to start going back into the con scene so soon. Like I was like, oh man, like the big V is messing everything up. I'm not planning anything. And then, my bosses just got used to me not going to conventions anymore. It just became a thing. It's like what happens, like even me running my own shows. Do you know all my dealers here in Montreal have been like, when are you running a convention? I haven't run a convention in 3 years. That's insane. Insane from my perspective. I used to run like 4 shows a year, minimum. Minimum. I just been busy. It's been crazy. And then catching up with everything. Do you know how hard it is to find a reservation for a event hall to run a convention when you've had 3 years of people who haven't been able to do their weddings and funerals and all that kind of crazy stuff and bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs and all that, and they're now catching up too, and I have to contend with those people who are also reserving space. It's been crazy. It's been very crazy. But thank you for the gold super chat, and I promise you, we will rock in the future. We will. You got to come, Joseph. You got to come to a TFCon Toronto. Your inventory is not that difficult because it's all soft goods and shirts and stuff. And if guys like Styling Online and everything could pull it off easily, you could do it too. Cross the border and then like Just make aces, man. You'll destroy. You will destroy. You will do very well. You will do very well, especially in TFCon Toronto. Um, with the new Tasmanian Kid in the door, what do you think will be the next Japanese remold? A new Baboom from Primal Kingdom? Yeah, that would be very cool. I would dig that a lot. Baboom, aka Apache, is one of those characters I'd love to see redone. And then if some way they could figure out, I mean, honestly, I prefer an original mold for Polar Claw, but I'd love to see Polar Claw. I would love to see Polar Claw get done. I've always had a soft spot for him. Tasmanian Kid's a cool character too. Beast Wars Second, aka Snarl, our Western trademark. But I think they have enough snarls already. We're going to have a leader class snarl, a soon to be core class snarl, and then for them to also call a core class smaller uh, rat trap repaint retool snarl would be so confusing. So calling it Tasmanian Kid kind of just makes sense. Kind of like the same way that they went with the Skywarp trademark for Beast Wars Magnaboss Silverbolt with that Battle Through Time 2-pack there. So it makes sense. Joseph Ritter, Michael Koo, will you be there? Okay, people are talking. Who is going to TFCon LA? Shout out. Let Joseph Ritter know so he could be excited about your arrival. Uh, Ace Duck. Oh, geez, Ace Duck. That's another good one. I totally forgot about Ace Duck. Ace Duck is literally sitting in my display. He's the one that's in the cockpit of uh of the turtle blimp. I have Ace Duck riding it. Oh my goodness. How could I forget about Ace Duck? I have both variants too. I have peg cap, non-peg cap. That's a good one too. Tucker with Mark and Evan liking the micro collections. How many more Armada figures do you predict will come out, and in what time frame? Well, from what we know thus far, the next one will be the Megatron, and then after that, we know the early 2024. So there's no plan to just yet. So not in the next year, that's for sure. Outside of Megatron, nothing in the next year. So that's as far as we could really say that much. 2024 Q2, 2024 Q3, that's a different story. Then we'll probably maybe get something. I could see them. Yeah, I could see repaints, Thundercracker, Skywarp from the Seeker mold of Starscream, Power Links Hot Shot, given the hot rod colors, maybe do the Dion colors, maybe do the smokescreen colors, maybe do the unreleased what was the other one there? The unreleased smokescreen colors that we got of that one. I'm pretty sure there's plenty. There's plenty that they could do. And again, Megatron, Galvatron, Megazarek colors from BotCon. Sky's the limit. Repaint, repaint, repaint. Uh, quick, Randy. Sorry, but you answered my other question already. Which question, Randy? Did I miss something? Let me scroll up. Sorry, sometimes so many messages come, I miss it. Quick, Randy. Where did you post a question? Quick, Randy. Where did you find the Tiger Hawk fusion image? That was a Japanese. That was a Japanese YouTuber that I believe posted it on their Instagram. They mashed it together. They went to a Japanese Transformer meetup where some people got some stolen merchandise, and one of them was messing around and noticed that there was a combine mode. I believe when I showed that footage, it was my live stream, I mentioned his name in it also. So if you want to find their exact name and find that footage, go check that out. I forget their name offhand, but it was a Japanese user correctly. Sorry about missing it, quick Randy. I apologize for that. Sorry. Sometimes it's so many things. Try to catch it all. Try to catch it all when you have, like, what do we got here? 120 people? 120 peeps. Um, Proto hates the USA. I do not hate the USA. I love the United States as food. I love the United States as diversity of land. So many, like if you go to New York, it's different from, from LA, that's different from Florida, that's different from Texas, that's different from the smaller little places like Georgia. So I like that. I've never been to Las Vegas. I'd like to go to Vegas once. Um, I like the US. It has good food. And there's some nice people there too. I'd like to believe. I believe, in that whole country there's one or two nice people there too. Um Michael Koo, Mario fans, who is going to the TFCon LA. Just remember the Super Mario World will be open. Oh man, that kills me too. That's another thing also. If I went down there, like I would want to go to Universal to the Mario World thing. I wouldn't even want to go to TFCon. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's brutal. I'm so parched today. Mr. Bumblebot, Joseph, you need to come. I need to shake your hand. Well, there you go. Mr. Bumblebot wants to meet you, Joseph. Canada is not. Joseph says Canada is not really a country. What visa should one get? You just get a basic You don't even need a visa. All you have to do essentially is you have to just make sure that you have a proper what do you call it? A proper passport, which I always suggest people should get one because it's always a good extra piece of ID. Get a proper passport done, and then look into that if you're going to be selling in another country. What is the limitations for someone going into Canada and coming back? I believe if it's under 10,000, there's a certain tax limit and stuff. So, but it's nothing too bad. So just look into that. Always be honest with the border and everything is kosher. When you're going into Canada, it's not as bad. It's going out of Canada that's a little rougher sometimes. Um, TFCon, yes, has cosplay. There's going to be tons of cosplay. Tons of cosplay. David Cabal, Proto Man will come to you. Proto Man Con. Well, the conventions that I run in Montreal, I run Retro Expo, which is a toy convention. I've been running that since 2013, 2014. And then my video game people wanted me to spin stuff off. Also, so then I started High Score Con in 2015 proper, and High Score Con is my video game convention that I run. And I've been running both of those, and those are pretty fun little shows. Good place to go get some stuff. $5 to get in, $5 Canadian to get into those shows. I don't ask a lot. I just run those shows so that my buddies could make money and everyone's happy and we all get to hang out. And Aaron's here again. Now he's using the Archer Monster account. Aaron, you switched over. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Yo, that TMN teaser looks hype. Michael Koo, Protoman loves the US of A. Take him to Culver's. Yo, man, that's my rule. Anytime I'm in the States, I got to eat unhealthy. That's the rule. That's the rule, man. When I'm in the States, when it's the evenings of the shows, you got to bring me somewhere where I have to go to the hospital after. That's just the rule. I'm dead serious. I want unhealthy, greasy food because normally I don't eat that. So when I'm in the States, I make sure to find bring me to a deep fried place or something like that. It's always good. Even what's crazy? Like even McDonald's is different in the States. Even McDonald's, the way the salt content is way more in the McDonald's in the States. As someone that eats both very easily, you could tell the difference. It's the same thing with our cereals. Michael Koo, U.S. passport tip. The newer U.S. passports have the RFD chip. If you're concerned, get an RDF chip. Yeah, that's for quick. That's also for quicker access. And when you get your passport, usually what they ask to is you need to get some kind of written note. And I don't know if it's like that in the States, but I know here in Canada, you have to get a written note from someone of reputable background. So usually a family doctor or a dentist or something like that, just to prove that you're not a terrible citizen or something. It's just something like that. I don't know if it's the same in the States, but I know here in Canada we have to do stuff like that. As it's like an extra layer to it. I know for Jaws D, I believe he used me as his reference, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jaws D, if you're listening. I don't remember. Something like that. Tucker, I know of plenty. Excellent. I want to eat unhealthy. I always do. Tom Laney, TF Generation Selects Titan class is sold out. Oh, is it sold out? Has it sold out? Well then. Um, well then. That's surprising. So we'll see if there's any inventory elsewhere. We will see. Have you seen the new Loyal Subjects Android body Krang? No, I have not. I haven't seen posts about that. I always loved Krang's android body because it looked like a Cabbage Patch fusion with a wrestler. Um, I love the Krang one. I don't I have the large one, the original large one that came with the uniquely painted Krang that came with it. It had like less paint deco on it. That's what made it unique. I don't have the small version. I should have got that one. I like that one too. It looks nice. And then there was a third party one. One of the very first third party toys that wasn't Transformer related was that Krang. They did like a crazy Krang one that was supposed to be like compatible with your classics Ninja Turtles. Remember when Playmates did those ones? So pretty cool stuff. Some Kiat Alex Vanger. Apologize if I said that incorrectly, brother. Hey Proto, do you guys still have Canadian Mounties with the full dress, or is that all in past history? The Royal Canadian Mounties are more just used for like more of a show, if anything. It's kind of like when you go to the United Kingdom and you have like the royal, like those guys there who don't talk with the fluffy hats, the royal guard there too. It's more of a show thing, if anything else. We have what are called police officers, and they don't ride on horses too much, so it's kind of a different time. The last time I saw a Mountie was a wrestler, and that was the '90s. Literally, that was the last time I saw a Mountie in person. Kind of like the rumor of bagged milk. Don't really see that much. Last time I saw bagged milk was I was a kid. Timmy K. Poindexter Esquire. We going to TFCon World LA for my birthday. Ooh, I mean Super World LA, Super Nintendo World LA for your birthday. You are a lucky man. I would love to go to that. Love to go to that. Just get all like the Shy Guy exclusive merchandise and the Wario exclusive merchandise. Oh my goodness. I would go broke. I would like literally I'd have to pre-plan, no joke, like $8,000 or something because I don't know if I'd be able to contain myself. It would be so fun. Where are we at here? Where are we at? Where are we at? Other US passport travel tips. If your kids don't have your last name, you need notarization stating that your partner knows you're traveling with your kid. Okay. Well, thank you, Michael. This is good news to know. I haven't another thing too, you if you pay more, you get to have your passport. You could have like I think it's like renew every 4 years or renew every 10 years or something. So I always pay the big one. It's just more convenient and it's cheaper. And as a result, I haven't renewed in so long. I don't know any of this stuff. And not to mention the big V kind of put that all on ice too. So that's a whole other story. ARJR, AI Dragon Legend. Hey, Proto, is there a second chance to get a 15th anniversary Transformers movie? I had to move from another house and save money. If you're referring to that box set, I would just say the secondary market, unfortunately. That was an item that I literally the second I saw it, I even said it in my thing. That's an investable item. That was an item that it was a reissue because all of those figures in that reissue had gone up in value like crazy. The Ironhide went up in crazy value. The Jazz went up in crazy value. The Optimus was starting to creep up there. The Ratchet and the Bumblebee were still holding MSRP or slightly above. So I told people when that came out, pick that up because that's going to be an investable item because they already released it because of the secondary market. And now that one, I guess, is starting to go up in the secondary market. So I'm, I apologize to say your best luck would have to be on eBay right now and hoping that you get a sleepy weekend where no one bids and then you win. You slide in and win. Um, where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at here? Lord Soundwarp, the UK stock for a Mega Sentinel is stocked massively still. So yeah, well, there's going to be other opportunities. So if you order from a UK person, probably you'll get an opportunity to pick it up. Still in inventory. I wouldn't be surprised if they restock it even at Hasbro Pulse. Sometimes that happens. It goes out of stock and then it comes back in stock again. They put like they call it circuit breakers, which is like, oh, we'll only put up 100 units, and when that sells out, we'll put it sold out, and then we'll put another 100 units. That happens sometimes. We got a super chat that popped in by Michael Koo. Proto, has anyone ever recolored Transformers the movie into G2 colors? Well, that would be interesting. Even Hot Rod. Hot Rod's G2 colors is more of like a kind of like a dark purple. If you ever read the old G2 comics, he had like a very dark kind of purple, very grizzled Andrew Wildman kind of look to him. Um, That would be funny if someone did that. But then what would be Ultra Magnus's colors? We never really had any indication. What would a G2 Ultra Magnus be like? Because the only thing that we got that was G2 Ultra Magnus was those watches. Remember those watches that popped up? There was an Ultra Magnus one that came out during G2, and he was in his regular colors. And then Ultra Magnus was also in the G2 Tiger handheld game, and he was in his regular colors. So what would a G2 Ultra Magnus look like? Because he doesn't. There's no evidence of what if his G2 colors. Jazz has unique colors. He has that little music symbol on his body, so you could use that. Obviously, the side swipe is unique. We even got to see like some of the alternate Grimlock colors. There was one that looked like Greymon from Digimon, had those color schemes. There's a lot. There's a lot. But that would be cool. That'd be a very cool idea. Someone should do that frame by frame. But some of them you're gonna have to make up because a lot of those don't really have G2 colors, unfortunately. Sarah says your things about the studio series last night, Hot Rod, is one the best movie figure yet. Are you talking about where's my boy over here? I'll dig him up. He's buried behind the new Bumblebee I picked up. I mean, it's definitely the best movie Hot Rod figure thus far. Um, for sure, 100%. But best movie Hot Rod figure is still this guy right here. How much bigger he is too. Jeez. But yeah, this is a great one also. I mean, definitely compared to that old what was it called? Their premium edition, whatever they called them for the last night when they came in those boxes. Definitely a lot better than that one. Laser Optimus got repainted into Ultra Magnus. Yep. Yes, they did. Had the little Matrix sticker on the chest too. Mr. Bumblebot G2 Magnus, purple and green, or the piss yellow. It's true. He's Shining Magnus. Yeah, you could do Shining Magnus. That could be one alternate color scheme. Be very bright. Mind you, it would be the 90s, so it would be very bright. You have to break up all that yellow, put some blue in there or something. Lizard Sphere X Ultramus had a G2 Self, and they didn't go by his powered convoy colors, which would be lazy in my opinion. I'd say orange, yellow, and neon purple with touches of teal Tron light lining. Well, that would be very 80s, but yeah, I could see that. It's got to be 90s. It's got to be garish. Just say to yourself, would Will Smith have worn that in an episode of Fresh Prince? And then you know, and then you know if it works or not. And that would work out. But yeah. What else I wanted to show? There was something else I wanted to show. I totally forgot. There was something else I wanted to bring on the stream, but I forgot. I was so busy today, and everything was so tied up. Oh my goodness. There was something else I wanted to show you, dudes, but maybe next week. Next week again. Next week we'll have giveaways. We'll do some cool giveaways. I'll try to figure out which ones we will do, which stuff we'll give away. So if you are a Patreon member or a YouTube member, which are the people with the green names and the icons next to them, next week we are doing a giveaway and you will have an opportunity to be a part of that if you are a Patreon member or YouTube member. So be sure to tune in for that. Again, as an apology for not being at TFCon, we'll give away some stuff. That's what we'll do just to make it nice for everybody. Lord Soundwarp, I feel like the last night figures were pretty bad at first, but some good concepts. Well, you know what? Movie toys are always kind of a giveaway Aaron Archer. I don't think Aaron would want that. He wouldn't fit in a box. Not the boxes that I got. Maybe my Unicron box if he rolls up. Going back to Lord Soundwarp's thing. Um, it's something where movie toys always have this weird kind of progression where, they plan the designs and this is in ILM at the time or whatever studio is working with them with Hasbro Studios. And then those early designs, not the final designs, not the animation models that are going to be used in the movie, the early designs, those get sent to Hasbro and to Karatomi, and then they got to figure out the product. And what sucks about that is then when the movie comes out, sometimes those designs don't match the movie one for one, or there's little surface details that are different. And then you have this like journey of getting better versions of it. And, you know, we were lucky because the last night came out and then Studio Series debuted not too long after that. And Studio Series spent all this time giving us perfect versions of those previous toys that really kind of had hiccups along the way. And we really didn't experience firsthand getting toys brand new that still had those issues of early design. Because even the Bumblebee movie stuff, let's even pull this guy up here. Like let's say off-road Bumblebee or something. They kind of learned already from a lot of the mistakes that they made from 2007 Bumblebee, Revenge of the Fallen Bumblebee. So those characters were lucky, and the only ones that suffered were the Decepticons. We only had two of them. They were triple changers. They didn't get the triple changer stuff, so maybe we'll get that later. But everything else was characters like, let's say here, let me pull up Brawn over here, but like we have Brawn and Brawn. All the ones that these ones were lucky was they didn't have alt modes. You know, they didn't have alt modes, so you could be a little more creative with those, if anything. But yeah, so now what I worry about is, we might get Rise of the Beast toys that aren't as perfect as they could be because we're re-entering that era of design shows up, sent right away to Takara Tomy and Hasbro, put together, put out there, and it's kind of, it's not the final animation model, it's kind of the in-between. And I'm sure Aaron probably has comments on that too, of how that whole process goes. That's quitter talk. Yeah, for putting Aaron in a box. I don't think Aaron would like it. Word Sound or Proto is Gigatron or Megatron from RID 2001. Is it going? Is it Gigatron or Megatron? Always called him Gigatron or Devil Gigatron. I personally like to call it Giga. Again, my rule, hard and fast, is always I like to refer to original source media material. Robots in Disguise 2001. Yeah, people like the dub. People like Skybite and everything like that. But I really like the Car Robots dub. I really like that version. It'll always be Fire Convoy to me. It won't be Optimus Prime. I recognize that it is an Optimus Prime in one version, but I'll always instinctively call it Fire Convoy. I will always instinctively call it JRX, not Midnight Express, Rail Racer, and all of that. I will always instinctively call it Wild Ride, Speedo Breaker, Macaloto, not Sideburn and Prowl and X Brawn. You know, those are always like those because that was in college. Man, was Car Robots cool. That was like the real like, kind of like, hey, Japan's doing Transformers again, and it was super hype. I call him Gigatron, Gigatron, and Devil Gigatron Henshin Gigabato. Stuff like that. Sarah, where can I get BotCon Strika? There any on eBay or AliExpress? If you're referring to the BotCon Machine Wars set Strika, probably eBay would be your best bet until we make a better Strika figure. But in all honesty, if you're just trying to look for a good Strika figure, I would wait. I would wait. Don't spend too much money on that. If you're just looking for a good Strika figure, I think we'll get a good one at one point. That is something I know Mark and Evan are going to want to do. Female characters, they have a goal now to put one in every wave. So she coming, yo. She coming at some point. Proto, do you think Scuba and Taco Tank could ever get a reissue? I wish. The prices on those, that's like giving a reissue for Niagara Base. You know, Taco Tank and Niagara Base, those are like $200 Beast Wars toys. And Niagara Base is the most chill, amazing functioning waterfall Transformer toy ever made. Look up um, on Twitter, most relaxing Transformer toy, and you'll see my tweet of Niagara Base with the waterfall. Real working waterfall. Love that toy. Taco Tank is awesome too. I have that one that comes with the repaint of Scuba's brother. It's not. It's is it Diver? No, Diver is the. No, it's because Clawjaw, Scuba, Diver was the frog, the green repaint of Spitor, and oh my God, what's Scuba's brother's name? Oh my God, I'm blanking. Oh my God, that's not good. Having a brain fart moment. Ickard, thank you. Thank you. Icado. It was Icado with his motorcycle riding abilities. Man, it happens sometimes. Too much stuff in the brain makes me kind of lame. I mean, it would be cool if they did reissues, but I mean, do those molds even exist anymore? That's the thing that's scary when you think about it, you know? Uh, Sarah says, why we only have 3 Transformers in 2 robot modes in all the line: animated Shockwave, reverse Megatron, and punch counterpunch. Reverse Megatron would be cool. Yeah, reverse Megatron, do that. It was reverse Megatron and revenge. It was reverse convoy, revenge Megatron. That's what it was called. I love that toy. That toy is really awesome. You can barely seem to see the blue over there. That's a really cool toy. Joseph Ritter, where is Cosmos? If any of you, and Joseph Ritter also has a super chat. Where's Cosmos? If any of you found him, good luck. Uh, Cosmos, wait for the reissues. That's what I always say. And Joseph Ritter with the super chat for $2. Thank you, Joseph. Any Transformers in a cartoon that not have a toy made? Botanica, 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 Botanica. This is the 3D printed one that was made for me by the awesome Mikey and Louie crew at Bin Studios. Botanica, transform. That's how she transforms. You just turn her around and then you open up the arms and everything. It's a 3D printed one. I would love it if they made a Botanica. There's a few. I mean, DevCon. We heard that DevCon is coming, so we're gonna get DevCon at some point. Finally, a decent one. Beast Wars Neo Unicron. Technically, never got that Beast Wars Neo Unicron. Where's that one at? You know. So we will see. We will see. I'm sure they're as time progresses, they got to do unique stuff sooner or later. Thank you for the super chat, brother. One more though. Autobot X. Look, we finally got a good Alpha Trion. We got maybe full size transformable Kranix. One day they'll do that. Not just third party ones. Not just the third party ones. Um, Mikey and Louie, I just got back home from dinner. What's going on? You're enjoying good Chinese food. I think you're better off than sticking around here. I'm gonna go make some food later too. I am starving Marvin, let me tell you. Mikey and Louie, I would be all over a Beast Machine Silverbolt remake, of course. Original toy suck. Yep, original toy is a classic example of them having with the technology that existed at the time, trying to make a toy in that price point. Think about it. It was the basic scale, and they had that price point to work with an animation model that never intended to transform properly. So it was going to be tough. That was Drexel Jump Studio design. Really tough stuff. Um, what did what did Joseph Ritter said? How about a coup with an L? Because you know your legend with the ladies. What did Michael say? I must have missed something. Um, Mr. Bumblebot says we should be seeing DevCon in April based on the pre-orders. Yeah, you're totally correct, Mr. Bumblebot. That's what it seems like. Uh, what are you saying, Joseph? Protoman admitted he hates TFCon LA and wonders what idiots would go there. Don't listen to Joseph. Don't listen to Joseph. He's spreading lies. He's spreading lies. It's Canadians I hate. Yes. Damn those Canadians. Yes. Damn those Canadians with their heart attack ability. Eh. Um Michael Koo with the super chat for $5. Thank you, Michael. Legacy Evolution Breakdown looks like he's designed for light piping. What makes Hasbro not do light piping? Oh no, there's still light piping. There's plenty of light piping still. I did a segment not too long ago talking about the history of light piping, when it was invented, why it was invented, and does it still exist today? And yeah, it's a really good segment because when you learn about the history of light piping, the only reason why it was introduced in Transformers, and you could barely see Skywarp there, I mean Skyquake, it was all because of that illuminator gimmick that existed with the Predators, with Skyquake. That's why they introduced light piping into Transformers, and then it just became a standard afterwards. Started showing up in G2 toys in general, and obviously into Beast Wars and Beast Machines. Um, and it still exists today. Look, that Tarn figure has light piping. You know, that brand new Tarn one. There's a whole bunch of them that have it. Let's find one right here. Do we have any modern ones with light piping? Do we? Well, I don't have any of the modern ones nearby. Not too many. They're all in the displays, unfortunately. Hot Rod doesn't have any. I don't know. Oh, we're being raided by a cat. Do you want to see cats, guys? Aaron Archer always shows his cat. Come here. Come here. So, I grew up with a lot of animals. We take care of a lot of animals. We rescue animals. My parents had a lot of beautiful animals. I grew up with you guys get the exclusive today. You get to see my cat, one of my cats. Um, so I grew up with, at one point, at most, we had 3 dogs, 5 cats, 2 turtles. Like I had tons of animals growing up, and I continue that. So you want to see my one-eyed cat, Minus? She has one eye. No joke. She has one eye, just one eye. You could call her Movie Ravage if you want, because she has one eye, and she's a big fat cat. She's 17 years old. She's an old cat too, but she's a good one. She's very, very quiet. She doesn't meow that much. Sometimes you might hear her in the background, but she's a fatso. Look at this. Look at this fat. A minus. she's she's very patient too. She's a good one. She's coming to bug me right now because she's like, "Who you talking to?" She has one eye, but she's a cutie. Um, my parents, we used to take in one of our cats, Kiki, when we got her. She was horribly abused, and it was so sad because we had her for like, geez, 20 years. That cat lived a long time. I think she lived until like 21. And what was sad was she was so badly abused that despite the fact that she was raised in our house where we all had animals and we all took care of her, every time you would go to pet her, she would always do this. They like messed her up so bad, but she was such a sweet cat. But that's Minus. Oh, and there she goes. Minus, what are you doing? Um, that's one of my many cats and dogs. You'll see dogs too at one point. I want to get another dog. Um, I don't know what breed yet, but I'll get whatever. Rescue something. But she has one eye, so you can make all the movie Ravage connections there because movie Ravage has one eye and is a black cat. Um, or let's see, let's get some questions here. Mikey and Louie, hey Proto, of Rodimus, of Rodimus of Beast Wars, what animal would he turn into? I've always felt, and people disagree with me. I always felt that Rodimus should either be some kind of also like big monkey gorilla kind of thing, the kind of complement Optimus Primal. If not that, some kind of like phoenix or bird or something. That's because like that flame chest could be like a phoenix. Like if you did like a flame phoenix, almost like how the old Firebirds had like that phoenix flame on the front. Like so, it's either one or the other. You know, either one or the other. That's how I see it. Proto Kitty. She's very quiet. You guys, like I've done thousands of podcasts. I've done almost 2,000 podcast segments. She always is there, never meows. This cat is just so chill, very relaxed. But she's an old cat now too. But she was even quiet when she was a kitten. Even when she was a kitten with her one eye, her one laser eye. I have this great photo of her, like her eye is glowing in the night. It looks like Terminator, like with the half face. Um, Prince of Phalanx 59, just back from dinner. Me and my wife have 4 cats and a dog. Yeah, man. Animals are awesome. And again, people always ask me about dust and stuff. Look, if you have glass display cases, you don't have to worry about it. But if you have animals and you don't have glass display cases, heaven help you because yeah, then that's a lot of dusting because cats and dogs will generate dust on top of that. We got a super chat from T Formers. Let me get to that one. Sorry about that, guys. We got all distracted with the cats, with the crazy cats. T Formers 2002. Speaking of Beast Wars Neo, just finished the series recently, and the reason I had and the reason they had Unicron inhabit Beast Wars. Oh, you're spoiling, bro. I mind it's 20 years ago, so it's fine. Beast Wars and Galvatron was because Unicron's toy was canceled. No, they really wanted to do, they really wanted to do that. That Unicron toy. Like, trust me, even Aaron, we talked about the creation of Armada Unicron, and they wanted to find some way to get that mold out there. Uh, it was just that was always written into the story. It's just they just didn't. The problem with big toys and Japan is just it's always a nightmare. It's not us, man. They're not like us. They don't got the space. Like, they don't got the space in stores. They don't got the shelving space. The homes back home don't have space. So big ticket items like that are really dicey, especially at a time when Transformer toys were still viewed as a kid marketed brand and not something that has an adult collector base. Armada kind of was the return of, hey, you know, G1 fans are now in their 20s, and or in some of them even in their 30s. We could get away with making a, at the time, the Supreme class, which was the debut of the Supreme. Oh, it wasn't the debut, actually. I take that back. Optimal Air Attack Optimus Primal from Beast Machines, which actually was an RID release, was the first Supreme. But after that one, the Supreme class became a standard with the Unicron, then the Black Unicron, then the Starscream, then the rollout Optimus through animated, and then all the millions of repaints across all of those that I just mentioned. So, it's something where, and they did that, because because they knew that the market now had adult collectors, and adult collectors will make space for that and stuff, and they're willing to pay a little more. So hope that answers that. But no, it wasn't canceled, and they didn't do that in the story because it was canceled. They just did it because you know it made sense for the story at the time. They wanted to include Galvatron in the story, and then roundabout what happened to Lio Convoy. I don't want to talk too much about it because I want some people to still watch the show and be surprised, even though it's a 20-year-old series. So good stuff. Good stuff. Good question, though. We talked about, if you want to try to find one of the Armada segments, I want to say it was part two of the creation of Armada, or behind the scenes of Armada. We talked about Unicron in that one, and just like that whole process. So hope that answers that. Zach wants to know with the super chat. Zach Lybrand, how you doing, Zach? With the $5 super chat. Evening Proto, random thought. Could Earthrise Skylinks be retooled into Megatron's purple flying griffin ship from that season 2 episode? I know exactly what you're referring to, that weird purple griffin from that one episode of G1 in season 2. I believe it was the Immobilizer? No, it wasn't the Immobilizer. I forget which episode it was. Um, yeah, you could, but who's buying a commander class based off of an extremely obscure character? That was kind of the sad thing that Hasbro painted themselves into, is that, a commander class Jetfire, you could repaint it into shattered glass, you could do a different color scheme that could be invoking of other seeker jets, because Lord knows there's been seekers that have been retooled into Jetfire and vice versa in the past with the leader class from the Thrilling 30. With Rodimus over here, you can barely see him, he's off camera, but commander class Rodimus, you could do Primus colors, you could do gold Rodimus, which is also kind of Primus colors. You could do two different Nemesis versions, both Lost Light, Shattered Glass, the black Rodimus. So there's so much baked in there, and even with Motormaster, I mean, I'm telling you, there's going to be a Thunder Clash from that at some point, the commander class. Skylinks is a tough one. Doesn't have a traditional robot mode. So right away, that cuts out like 90% of things that it could be done. There'd have to be some insane excessive retooling. And then all of that retooling on a commander class that already has such a huge parts count and injection. I don't know. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Rodimus, that's Pete Sinclair's idea. One of the guys of BotCon, Pete Sinclair, he wanted to do Rodimus, which was they took the Thrilling 30 Generations Deluxe Class Rat Trap and give it a hot rod color scheme, and it never happened. But if it did, I'd be in trouble. I'd have to pick that up. Although that probably would have been a year that I was working with them, so I probably would have got hooked up. Pete's a good guy to me. A lot of people say negative things about Pete, but I like Pete. Pete's always been a good guy to me. and I respect that. Always a good dude. Sarah, after the Tiger Hawk and Silverbolt, any news about the next Beast Buddies? Um, Geez, have they covered anything? Um, I'm trying to remember now. Do we know any other Beast characters that were released through listings? Beast Wars Silverbolt, Fusor, Voyager class. I know we got a listing for that, and a leader class Tiger Hawk. I think those are the two next ones, if I remember correctly. So that's about it from what you mentioned. You know, don't forget T Formers is super chat. Did I miss it? Did I miss another super chat? Oh no, I got it. I got it. I got it. Thank goodness. I don't want to miss any super chats. Thank you guys. If I miss any, I apologize. It's so many. They just happen so fast. There is so many. There is so many. And we're almost out of time, so I'm just going to answer a few more questions and then we'll wrap it up. Why are the three mythical creatures in Beast Wars a dragon and two griffins? Why are there no unicorns? That actually kind of happened by. It's not that they're mythical creatures, it's that those mythical creatures are based off of stuff that were fusions of things like a griffin. The dragon was more just, and you could probably Aaron Archer could probably answer this better, but the dragon is more just what is the natural evolution of like a T Rex into something bigger. Yeah, you could all argue like, oh, an Ultrasaur or some other like Spinosaurus Rex, but at the end of the day, a dragon is just something more mythical. It involves the Megatron spark, so that's that. And Silverbolt, again, just a coincidence that, yeah, you take an eagle, you take a wolf, and you got a griffin. You know, I mean, all those other fusors weren't really based on any of that kind of stuff. Okay, well, the last question we'll answer, and we'll talk about the Hasbro stock situation. So, and then we'll call it quits today. And it's so late in the stream that, yeah, why not? We'll cover the Joseph Ritter Hasbro stock question. So Hasbro stock on Friday. I have Hasbro spot. Now I'm getting tongue tied. I have Hasbro stock. I've had Hasbro stock since 2013. Not a huge significant amount, but quite a bit. I put little money here and there every so often. And luckily, I bought it at a time that was lower than how it is now, at least luckily for me. But when you think about inflation, maybe it's breaking even at this point. And I always pay attention to the stock just for fun. It's one of the many that I have in there. I always suggest don't invest in stocks unless you have supplemental income. Don't roll the dice on it. Sometimes stocks can be really dangerous. But it's something that I always had. So I always pay attention to it. And man, I don't know what happened Friday, but like everything was fine. And then 1 o'clock, and then it just took a dive. I don't know. So I will say this, Joseph. Good time to buy Hasbro stock, I will say, because it's as low as it's been since 2013 when I bought. And when I bought it in 2013, if you factor in inflation, it probably was in that like $60, $65 range if you factor in inflation. So it's probably as hella cheap as it's ever been in a very long time. So if you're looking to buy Hasbro stock and you have leftover money, um, like just extra income, now's a good time to buy. I don't know what happened Friday and Saturday, but man, the world was not happy with Hasbro. There was just some weird stuff there that people just pulled out like crazy, like crazy. It was nuts. Because usually you see that happening in real time when a whole bunch of people react to something and something pulls out. And I don't know, because nothing happened in the Magic the Gathering world, which a lot of people were saying affects a lot of the stocks, but nothing happened in the Magic world at that time. If anything, there's a lot of good stuff happening in Magic right now financially. There was that thing where there was supposedly they found stuff in landfills and stuff. This is unrelated to the Funko news we were talking about, which is a whole other thing. I don't even want to cover the Funko stuff. It's so dumb. Um, there was some hesitation in Cincinnati Kenner about if kids knew mythical creatures. Oh, there's some Aaron. We're going to cover that in a long form in the future. We got to do that in time for Beast Wars, so save it for then. We'll do that definitely. Um, it's not Funko. See, that's why people are saying like, "Oh, it might be Funko." It's not. It's not related to Funko. That's completely separate. I don't know what, but like it's not related to magic. Transformers, I don't know. There might have been something transformer related that internal or external got out, can't be, and everything else, like we're not going to talk about My Little Pony, GI Joe, those don't move the needles. So it might have been something transform related. I was seeing some rumors online. I can't confirm and or deny them, so I'm not going to bring them up here because they're just silly rumors. But they might be. Look, some stuff has legitimacy in it because sometimes people make decisions within the stock market based on emotions, based on feelings, based on politics, based on all kinds of stuff. So it could potentially it could be true. I won't say it isn't or it is, but I have seen in the past where certain things do move the stock market. So, but man, did it take a dive on Friday. I have in all my years of watching the Hasbro stock, it's been sliding, but it didn't take like yesterday. I That's why I did that tweet. You don't see me talking about the stocks very often, but I had to do that tweet because I was like, man, wow, something at 1 p.m. just went, you know, they were just like, screw this, forget Hasbro, I'm putting my money elsewhere, you know? And the last question that we'll cover,
I can
because
try, but must be
Rodimus Toy
stopped,
Unboxing
no
wanted to
matter
ask,
the cost.
what is Proto's dinner tonight? Because it makes sense because we're going to end it tonight. I am going to probably have, I wanted to make Chinese dumplings. I bought a whole bunch of frozen ones. You know, it's like the dumplings that have like the soup broth in them. I bought a whole bunch of those. I want to make those, so I'm going to probably have those tonight with some seaweed and some rice on the side. Always Asian food with this dummy. Um, and that's going to be probably it. I'm just going to have a simple rice with, the meat it's chicken on the inside with some pork, with some Chinese broth, probably chicken broth, I would imagine. Um, going to make a bunch of those with my steamer and have it with some white rice and with some roasted seaweed on the side. And that'll be my evening of food. And then I will kick back like I always do and play some Nintendo Switch before I call it an evening. And that's what we're doing tonight. We're calling it an evening. We are done today. We are finished. And again, thank you all for coming. We peaked at about 137. Yeah, 137. So we had a bunch of people in today. Thank you, Aaron Archer, again, and all the Hasbro peeps who pop in to say what's up. Thank you to all of my patrons. Thank you all to my YouTube members for checking in and hanging out and talking. Thank you for all the super chats that we got here today that help support the podcast and keep us rolling along with the YouTube memberships. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good questions. Have a good evening, guys. It's been fun. It always is fun. Again, reminder next weekend will be a TFCon weekend, but I will be here. So instead, we will be doing a special TFCon live stream with some giveaways. So if you are a YouTube member or a Patreon member, you will be able to probably get some free stuff
I
during the
can try,
giveaway.
but must
So
be
thank you
stopped,
all. Take care of
no matter
yourselves.
the
And
cost.
like I always say, it's a crazy world out there with a lot of crazy people. Don't be part of that nuttiness. Relax, enjoy life, chill, make yourself better. Go out there, do some good stuff for the world, and enjoy the robots in the skies. Thank you, everybody. I'm out of here. Love you all. Take care.